Why school doesn't prepare you for the real world in 2025, the education crisis exposed and how to fix it.
Welcome to Question Everything, where we challenge the status quo and dive deep into truths no one else dares to. Get ready to question everything you know.
The biggest problem with modern education is that it was designed for a different century. Schools were built for the industrial age to create factory workers, but in 2025, with 9.8% youth unemployment due to skill gaps, per BLS, and 87% of US adults saying high school didn't prepare them for money, per Ramsey, it's failing our kids badly. This issue is huge. 4 million Gen Zers are jobless in 2025, per Fortune, with the entry-level market failing the class of 2025, as AI displaces roles, and youth unemployment at 6.6% for ages 20 to 24, the highest in a decade excluding the pandemic, per Fox News. Curriculum is outdated, focused on rote learning, ignoring financial literacy, where 1 in 5 US teens lacks basics, per NEEF, and only 45% took a finance class in 2025, up from 31% in 2024, per JAUSA, but 47% of adults give their knowledge a C or worse, per Wallet Hub. How big the issue is? This education failure is a massive crisis. National financial literacy is stagnant at 49%, per TIAA Institute FLEC 2025, with Gen Z at 38% and Gen Y at 45% lowest rates, per Wallet Hub, and 27% of adults globally literate, per CoinLaw. Youth unemployment among college grads exceeds the overall 4.3% rate, per Bytes Employee Hub, as schools fail to deliver job-ready skills, with universities setting students up for failure, per Fortune. Over 4 million youth are without jobs, a headache for policymakers, per Economic Times, with the system failing to deliver on its promise, leaving graduates with worthless degrees. Lack of financial literacy. Financial illiteracy is widespread. 35% of US adults give their knowledge a C or worse, per Wallet Hub, and 47% continue to do so, an increase of 12% from prior years, per Wallet Hub. 1 in 3 US adults can't cover a $400 emergency, per Fed 2025, and 32 million are functionally illiterate, per Magnet ABA, making budgets or loans impossible. Without finance education, average losses are $1,819 per person, per Should schools teach life skills, with 68% of teens wanting courses but only 31% having access, per JAUSA. Absence of life skills. Schools neglect emotional intelligence, only 26% teach it, per CASEL 2025, yet EQ accounts for 80% of success, per TalentSmart, leaving kids unable to handle stress. Critical thinking is ignored. US teens rank 25th in math globally, with 30% below basic proficiency, per PISA 2025, making them ill-equipped for 61% of jobs requiring problem-solving, per WEF. Entrepreneurship is missing. Only 15% of schools offer business classes, per Quizlet, yet 1.1 million new businesses launched in 2025, per SBA, showing a gap in creating jobs. Economic conditions. U.S. economy grows 1.8% in 2025, per Deloitte, but uneven, unemployment 4.3%, 7.1 million jobless, youth at 9.8%, up from 8% in 2024, per BLS. Inflation 2.8% in July 2025, food up 2.9%, rent 4.5%, adding $2,600 to family budgets, with 62% living paycheck to paycheck, per Lending Club. National debt $35.2 trillion, interest $1.14 trillion, more than education budgets, crowding out school funding, per Treasury data. Mental health crisis. Mental health crumbles. 22.4% of adults report illness, 56% cite financial insecurity, per NAMI, with 84% saying money worsens health, per LifeStance 2025. Work stress is epidemic, 43% exhausted daily, per APA 2025, with 31% constant stress, costing $340 billion in productivity, per Gallup. For youth, 45% of high schoolers anxious from academic pressure, per JAUSA, with 68% wanting life skills to reduce burnout from irrelevant curricula. Policy-driven stress. Trump's 2025 tariffs add $2,400 yearly to family costs, with electronics up 10%, hitting 78 million food insecure hardest, per estimates. Tax cuts save top 1% $61,090, per inequality.org, while bottom 50% face service cuts, adding anxiety for 62% living paycheck to paycheck. De-dollarization spikes imports 10%, adding $500 to gas bills for 37 million in poverty, per IMF 2025, worsening mental health for 43% worried about finances. Impacts on individuals. Stagnation is real. 48% of kids out-earn parents, with 37 million under 25 in poverty, delaying homeownership for 46% of millennials due to $1.6 trillion debt, per Fed. Struggling families face eviction, 1 in 5 renters behind, with 653,000 homeless in 2025, worsened by policy cuts to welfare, per HUD. Racial gaps lock in inequality, black wealth $29,200 versus white $204,100, with 30% lower mobility, preventing ownership for 60% of black families, per Urban Institute. Roadmap to rebuild. As an expert, here's your roadmap. Assess finances. 43 million have $39,000 debt. Use NerdWallet to prioritize high-interest loans, saving $5,000 by paying $39,000 in 5 years at 6.39%. Build emergency funds. 40% have under $400 saved. Aim for $10,000 to $20,000 in high-yield accounts at 5% APY to cushion tariff-driven price hikes or job loss. Start side hustles. 45% of millennials earn $500 to $1,000 monthly via gigs like Uber, per surveys. Allocate 70% to debt, 20% to savings, 10% to skills training. Support for struggling families. For 37 million in poverty, tap SNAP, covering 40% of groceries for 78 million food insecure, with 2025 expansions aiding 10 million more, per USDA. Access free mental health. 22.4% of adults struggle. Use 988 hotline or community programs, where 65% find relief from financial stress, per APA 2025. Leverage free career advice. SBA grants $5 billion for 1.1 million new businesses in 2025, with youth startups up 15%, offering income for those with no savings, per SBA. Comprehensive strategies. Refinance debt. 700-plus credit scores cut rates to 4 to 5%, saving $5,000 on $39,000 loans, per 2025 data. Consolidate to lower 20% default risk, preserving job prospects. Invest smart. Roth IRA at 7% returns grows $500 monthly to $100,000 in 10 years. 59% of workers get 401k matches, adding $3,000 yearly, per Vanguard. Network aggressively. LinkedIn's 80% success rate for advice. Join groups where 92% of ments avoid poverty through connections, per Big Brothers Big Sisters. Hopeful path forward. The American dream isn't dead, it's evolving. WEF's 97 million new AI jobs by 2025 mean opportunities for those who adapt, with reskilled youth filling 85% of roles. With 1.8% GDP growth and 1.1 million new businesses in 2025, potential exists. Hustle and planning can rewrite your story. You're not trapped. Save, reskill, connect. By 2030, you and your kids can build a new dream. Start now and shape a brighter future. What's the one thing you wish school taught you?
Your opinion is what helps us expand our knowledge. Please share your thoughts on the question we asked and let us know what we should investigate next. Don't forget to subscribe to Question Everything and hit the bell. Stay curious and keep questioning.